grows, more taxes. But while we are up to our necks in taxes, the Sands Corporation, the multi-billion-dollar corporation that wants to build this casino, is exempt from the rules that regular people must follow. We are going to be paying more in taxes relative to our earnings than the casino. What nonsense is this? Why does the legislature expect small businesses to compete with a behemoth like Sands when small businesses still have to pay the 6.25% corporate tax rate, but Sands doesn't? Furthermore, inflation will quickly make the payment worthless, assuming very modest inflation of 2.5% per year. They'll be paying us, the payment will be worth half of what it is within less than 30 years. It'll lose over 90% of the value by the time the 99-year lease. They're going to own the property for 99 years, folks. It'll be worthless. The benefit to you, to us, will go down exponentially every year. How about this? Instead of selling us out to the rich and powerful by giving tax breaks to a casino, how about the Nassau legislature taxes the casino at a higher than average rate, which it can afford, to fund a tax cut for us regular folk, people who are struggling to make ends meet? Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming in. Next, I have Mike Falorino. Good afternoon, Mr. Falorino. If you give me name and address for the record.
Yes, Michael Falorino, 19 Startup Lane in Levittown, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. I didn't know I was going to be here this morning, but here I am, and you know, I heard a lot of good news. I worked across this. Let me just back up. I've been a Nassau resident for the last 43 years. I never once thought about moving out, because I love it so much. I've worked across the street in RXR for the last 26 years until I was recently retired. You know, and people are saying, well, we have 3 schools around it. No one mentioned RXR, professional office building, probably the finest in Nassau County, and no one's brought up Eisenhower Park. I'm very sports oriented. I have 3 children, and now you're all young adults, and I have 3 grandchildren. Eisenhower Park is probably the best park, or one of the best parks in New York State. We swim, we run, we play softball, we play golf. You know, I don't know the overflow and what happens to the park, you know, once this deal is made, but I'm concerned about that. I'm also concerned about, if you look back, you know, we had 2 comments or 3 comments about the lighthouse project. My understanding of that is, and why it got turned down, was because of Hempstead. Hempstead voted it down, not the community. So I'm a little concerned now why the town of Hempstead is now trying to bring in, instead of islanders, keep them at home, trying to bring in now a casino that doesn't belong here. You know, everyone's heard it's a small community, and you know, listen, I traveled Hempstead Turnpike for 26 years. I went back roads, I went parkways, I went Meadowbrook, Southern State, Northern State. You can't get around the traffic. How is traffic going to go now with all these, I don't know, 20, whatever the numbers are? I'm not the expert on the numbers. You know, I'm concerned about the water. I go down Wantagh Avenue, and they have a plume to detect the cancer that's coming down. Where's all the water going to come from? It's just a bad idea. Environmental, other people have stated it more eloquently than I, but it's just a bad idea for our environment. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much for coming down. Next, I have Barbara Kane. Good afternoon, Ms. Kane. If your name and address for the record, thank you.
Barbara Kane, 2563 First Avenue in East Meadow. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I oppose the casino. I am a local East Meadow resident. I'm a local realtor, and I'd like to understand more significantly the impact to the real estate values for local Long Island residents that live here. I'd like to also see further studies on the surrounding communities around casinos, such as Atlantic City, such as Mohegan Sun, such as Empire, such as Jake's 58. What has happened to the values of the real estate surrounding those communities? I also would like to have further clarification on the tax situation for Long Island residents. I pay my taxes. I have no problem paying Long Island taxes. I pay taxes so that I can live in Long Island. I do not want to see Long Island becomes Queens County. I pay taxes to live in Long Island, not to live in Queens. What is going to happen with the population boom? What is going to happen to the real estate values? I have just finished renovating my beautiful home in Long Island. I love Long Island. I love East Meadow. Now I fear that I'm going to have to leave this town that I call home. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for coming down. Next, I have Kenneth Ware. Kenneth Ware? How you doing? Name and address for the record. Afternoon.
Kenneth Ware, Roosevelt, Long Island. How you doing?
Good.
I'm standing in favor of the Sands Casino. I am a restaurant owner on the Nautical Mile in Freeport, Long Island, called Backyard Barbecue. I am also, hello, how you doing? I'm also standing here as the president of the Black Restaurant Coalition. I stand in front of you for 200 restaurants all over New York City and Long Island. What I think will happen with the Sands Casino is, excuse me, I'm a little nervous right now. It's a lot of people in here. But I think that it will bring a lot of opportunities to the minority community. Just want to make sure that the Black Restaurant Coalition is a liaison for the Sands Casino, and we stand in favor of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming down. We appreciate you taking the time. Brett Thompson? Brett Thompson? Okay. Next, I have Marie Hauche. How you doing, all right? Why don't you fix how I ruined your name, and good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. My name is Chaplain Marie Carmel Hawanchi.
Chaplain.
I'm the chaplain for the 342nd Freeport Post American Legion. I'm also, I live in Freeport for 40 years, which is 519 Miller Avenue, the flood capital of the world. Also, I want to say when the project was first proposed, a group of faith-based ministers was invited right here at the Marriott Hotel. We all came around and we were educated about the project. And we all asked all the questions, and we all got the answers. I am pro the Sands opening up the resort here in Nassau, because not only is it creating jobs, but also is creating a new environment for the Millennium and other groups who are living here in Long Island. Also, as a veteran, I do go to Mitchell Field for health care. I go to the PX at the Naval Base. So basically, I'm encouraging for people to vote for this particular project, because it's not just about the casino. It's about the hotel. It's about environment for people to come and walk around. To me, it looks beautiful. We talk about all the different negative things, but let's look at the positive thing. And for people who are not too sure about it, go on Google it, and ask questions to see how it will profit you. Also, I want to commend, when we first started to learn about the project, Ms. Hazel Dukes of the NAACP was there. Ex-Governor Patterson was also there, along with all the crew, basically to educate all the faith-based ministers about this project. And as a Freeport resident, I'm encouraging people out there, and also as a veteran, that we are looking for jobs for the community. So with jobs for the community, it will decrease all the problem that we have in with robbery, theft, and also encouraging for the youth to be involved in it. Another important thing, as a faith-based minister, as a chaplain, maybe they could also have an area for prayer, because we need prayer in this world that we're living in. Thank you and amen, hallelujah.
Thank you very much for taking the time. Trustee Boone. Good afternoon, if your
Good
name and
afternoon.
address for the
Good
record.
afternoon. It's hard to follow that one, and yes, we do need prayer in this time. I'll agree. Again, my name is Villager Hempstead, Trustee Boone, longtime resident of Villager Hempstead. Thank you for letting me speak. I stand in solidation with the Sands. It's very important that this project move forward, that the environmental study get done. The impact on this will be greatly appreciated and tremendous, not only for the incorporated village of Hempstead, but the surrounding areas. You're talking about much-needed jobs and everything else that could definitely be a benefit to the area. And also as far as entertainment and having a place to go, I know a lot of people in the village would love to have a place to go and entertain and bring their family and their friends. And but like I said, this would be instrumental to that, as well as the much-needed jobs and the driving the economy, in which this will do for not just the Uniondale area, but the whole area in Nassau County. So I definitely stand with the Sands in getting this done, moving forward. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Jerry Conway? Good afternoon, name and address for the record, thank you.
My name is Jerry Conway. I live at 160 Chestnut Street. And I travel these roads all the time. And I'm wondering what the impact of all of this traffic is going to do to the bad roads that we already have. We have potholes everywhere, and they never seem to be fixed. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Conway. Next, I have Josh Slaughter. Good afternoon, name and address for the record, thank you.
Good afternoon, Josh Slaughter, 28 Dawn Drive, Shirley. I'm a Long Island political director for the Mason Tenders District Council, representing 5,000 union laborers here on Long Island, who are also, many residents of Nassau County. There's a lot to unravel today, a lot of different comments. I do want to speak first to the town. I appreciate you bringing it to this forum and really opening this up to be a transparent process for the community. I think it's important, everybody is heard and gets to have their say. Sands from day one, really several years ago, sat down with labor. They made a lot of commitments, and I will say that they have stuck to all those commitments, and they've been a great partner to work with over the last several years. I know they've been doing a lot in the community already, and if they say they're going to do a strong environmental process, I believe that they're going to do that. This has been something that they've really stuck to from day one and have really been good to their word. The jobs that this would create are really critical for Long Island. And I know there's a lot of residents from Uniondale, Roosevelt, some of the surrounding areas. The laborers are committed to creating really good opportunities for our kids here. We actually just this month started a pre-apprenticeship program with Roosevelt High School. It's a 4-year program that kids are going to get the skills and the training and the certifications to come right out of high school and have an advanced placement right into our apprenticeship program. And these are real careers, no college debt, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 right out of high school that they can make annually to be able to survive and thrive here on Long Island. But if we don't have the jobs to put them into, they're going to leave. And this is a transformative project. Thousands and thousands of good union jobs, not low-wage migrant worker jobs with no benefits. They're committed to union jobs. And that's going to allow them to buy homes, pay taxes, and continue to let Nassau County grow. I know they're committed to the crime issue. It's going to be the safest places in Nassau County. They're going to put $1 million a year into having police officers stationed right there on site in addition to their security. I mean, there's probably nowhere else I'd rather be than at the Sands Casino once it's built, as far as being a good, safe place for your family to come. It's not just a casino. Everyone wants to focus on the casino. Sure, that helps make the finances work. This is going to be a place you could take your family to see a concert, to see a show, to go to restaurants, to go shopping. It's a destination to bring people from off of Long Island to come spend money here, help our tax base. The Reverend earlier mentioned, the Nassau Medical Center. Yeah, it's struggling. Well, the revenue that would be generated from a project like this, that the taxpayers don't have to cough up, is going to help keep things like that open. I mean, this is a tax positive for the community. Much needed revenue to help here. And I'll just leave it at, if we're not growing, we're dying. Long Island will not survive if we don't continue to grow and build and have progress, and this will do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Slaughter. Next, I have James Skinner. Good afternoon, Mr. Skinner. If you give me your name and address for the record.
Good afternoon. My name is James Skinner. I am the chairman of the board for the East Meadow Chamber of Commerce. I would like to say first, thank you, Senator Clavin, for having this hearing today and having such.
Whoa. Let's dispel any of that stuff. I'm very happy right here, okay?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Sorry, Supervisor.
That's okay.
I apologize. Anyways, the East Meadow Chamber of Commerce stands with the Sands and their integrated resort. We believe the integrated resort will bring revenue to the local community and businesses, along with bringing thousands of jobs to local residents. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for almost giving me a heart attack. Next, I'm going to call up Jack Medjcut. Good afternoon. Name and address for the record.
You're close. Jack Mikett.
Oh, sorry, Jack.
169 Elm Place, Levittown. Good afternoon, Supervisor Clavin, ladies and gentlemen of the board. My name is Jack Mikett. I'm a business representative for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 25. IBW Local 25 represents over 2,000 working families here on Long Island, and I personally am a resident of the town of Hempstead. Today I'm here to say that Local 25 and I fully support this once-in-a-lifetime project. This $4 billion project proposed by the Sands organization will create 8,500 construction jobs, 6,000 permanent jobs. In addition to the creation of the jobs, this project will generate the much-needed tax revenue for the town of Hempstead. Now is the time for Long Island, especially the town of Hempstead, to benefit from this long-awaited project. This is a transformative project for all of Long Island. We have waited decades for a developer to invest in our community, and the Sands organization has come to our rescue. It would be irresponsible not to move forward with the proposed project and have to wait another decade for a developer to come along. As we've heard from the Sands organization today, the CEQA review is one of the most intense, comprehensive environmental impact studies being performed to date. I have every confidence in the world that this town board, with Supervisor Don Clavin leading the charge, will make sure that every I is dotted and every T is crossed. Once again, IBW Local 25 and I fully support this project. Thank you for your time and opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Jack. And I just want to let you know, as you can see, I'm an equal opportunity. I'm mispronouncing everyone's name in this process. So thank you very much for coming in. Catherine Queen. Good afternoon. If you give your name and address for the record, thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Catherine Quinn. I live at 110 Wickham Road in Garden City, New York. And thank you so much for having this hearing. Just to bring the point back home, not just the environmental impacts. I guess I just wanted to say that it seems that the development of this area is inevitable. Something needs to happen here, whether it's raised or whether something new is built. But I don't think that it's in our best interest to have a casino be a part of that. My concerns for the environment are the traffic. I'm really quite worried about the level of traffic that we currently have. Sticking something this big in the middle of all of that is just going to increase this so much. Many of you, I'm sure, have read The Power Broker by Robert Moses. I just keep on coming back to all of these twisting, turning highways that he created, along with parks and other things like that. We have so much traffic and such old roads. I just don't think that this makes sense to have something this large come here. I'm concerned about the water quality. I'm concerned about the air quality. I'm concerned about the light and the noise and the air pollution. We already have so much. More is going to come from this. I just want to say that rezoning this area, which has come up, it came up when the people who were representing the Sands, who couldn't stay the whole time, let that be known, said they were, oh, okay, sorry. They're right here. When they talked about rezoning the area is not going to change the resources that we have available. So just something to think about. When I think about a casino, you think about the glamorousness of Ocean's 11 or something like that. And then when you go to an actual casino, it's not always as glamorous as that. So I just want to caution everyone before we move ahead with this to ask all these environmental questions and to make sure that we're not lured by the sparkly presentation that we have, and to consider what we want to put in place here, whether it be a fabulous world-class resort without a casino or something else. Just consider that. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, Ms. Quinn. Have a great day. Next, I have Jennifer Coughlin. Good afternoon. Name and address for the record. Thank you.
I have to say, everyone usually mispronounces my name, and you actually got it right. So.
Don't worry, there are many other people. I'll mispronounce so many other names after I'm done with you. Trust me, I have all the faith in the world.
I'm Jennifer Coughlin. I am a member of Sive Paget and Rozelle, an environmental law firm in New York City. We represent the village of Garden City and appear before you today to express the village's serious concerns regarding the scope and scale of the project, as well as the social and environmental impacts that will result. We will be submitting detailed comments on the draft scoping document, but do want to highlight a few critical issues for you today. We note that there's a discrepancy between the Part 3 attachment to the final the full environmental assessment form that was submitted, which notes that the redevelopment of the Marriott parcel would result in an increased magnitude of the overall proposed action and associated impacts, and should therefore be studied. While the draft scoping document says little to nothing about the proposed Marriott redevelopment, it's critical that the EIS consider the entirety of the project and that the final scoping document detail exactly what is planned for the Marriott property and how it will be analyzed in the EIS. Similarly, the scoping document provides no explanation of the development that would occur in the absence of a gaming license. It was noted in the SANS presentation that this is an alternative that will be studied, but the draft needs to explain what that project is, what its financial viability is, and the impacts of a semi-constructed or partially vacant project. The scoping document notes that the project will be constructed in 2 phases, phase 1 being the casino in the Coliseum, phase 2 being the remainder of the project. Again, the scoping document is silent as to whether the applicant will be required to complete the full construction. If it is possible that only phase 1 would be constructed, as has been suggested by other speakers, certainly this must be fully analyzed as an alternative in the AIS, and it must be detailed which of the proposed payments and other community benefits that are being offered would be associated with just a phase 1 project. As the mayor noted previously, the traffic study should analyze every intersection that would experience a significant traffic impact so that mitigation can be identified and implemented. The EIS must carefully evaluate the capacity at the Cedar Creek Water Pollution Control Plant, especially in light of the Bay Park Conveyance Project, and should analyze the water quality impacts associated with the increased nutrient load, as well as the impacts to the sole source aquifer, and, as has been mentioned previously, the historic contamination that affects that. The assessment of community character cannot be limited to the site itself, but must also consider whether the height, density, and proposed uses are appropriate and consistent with the character of the neighboring towns, villages, and neighborhoods, all of which will be significantly impacted by increased traffic, crime, addiction, and visual impacts. We note that one of the visual view sheds that are being analyzed is Jones Beach.
Obviously, we have the 3-minute. Obviously, you're going to be doing a submission in writing as well of all
We will.
these points, with others, I would imagine, correct?
We will be submitting
Right,
detailed
and
comments.
so, and when it does, please let my town attorney know, so again, we make sure it's put up there for residents throughout the town and the region to see. Thank you very
Absolutely.
much for
Thank
taking the
you.
time. Thank you. And I appreciate you letting people know I pronounce your name right. So, Nick, I have, hold on, let's see if I can ruin this one. Nikki Ferranda? Nikki Ferranda? Okay. Haley Simon? Haley Simon? Okay. Christopher Durriton? Christopher Durriton, Massapequa Park? Okay. Imran Ansari? How are you? Your name and address for the record.
Imran Ansari,
By the way,
30, yeah, you got it.
You should just write it a little more legible. Just so it's easier.
36 James Street, Huntington Station, New York. My name is Imran Ansari, political director of the Long Island Federation of Labor, representing 250,000 union members and their families here on Long Island. Just want to talk about a couple of points that have been made here today. One of which was talking about the capacity of Long Island and how we're full. I don't believe the data really supports that. We have, unfortunately, unprecedented brain drain here on Long Island and in the state of New York. From July 2022 to 2023, over 1 year span, New York saw the largest population decline in the country. Every metric points to the fact that we have a need for jobs, and jobs like these ones where it's going to be bringing people up and into the middle class, thousands of construction jobs, thousands of long-term operation and maintenance jobs. We already have project labor agreements for the construction side, neutrality agreements with the Hotel Trades Council for the operations and maintenance side. So we have commitments from the developer that have already begun to come to fruition. In terms of process, I want to thank the town of Hempstead, for bringing this forward, letting the community, voice their opinions and, make sure that, everyone's voices are heard today. In terms of safety, we commend the Sands for proposing a police substation on site and a comprehensive community benefits package to the local community, 40% of which is designated for the adjacent community of Uniondale. We've also talked a lot today about the issue of gambling. Well, we all have these phones in our hands, and the younger generation in particular are utilizing that avenue. In the first year of legalized sports gambling in the state of New York, the New York handle was $16.2 billion, gross gaming revenue was $1.36 billion, and tax revenue was $693 million. It's legalized. People have talked a lot about the moral hazard, but it's here and it's present. Last piece, just as a Hofstra alumni and a member of the community, anything that can be done to enhance the safety and the ability for the community to have something there. When I was a student, I was there for the time when Lighthouse came and went. The jobs never came to fruition, and as a community, we're the worst for it. So again, I just want to thank the town for seeing this process through and allowing the community to be heard today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I'm going to say, why don't we take a 10-minute recess? It's approximately 1:19, and we will target to start the meeting up at 1:30. So we're going to have a break to the bathroom or whatever you want, but we'll start it up at 1:30. That's at approximately 11 minutes. Thank you all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, find your seats. We're going to start it up again. Okay. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate the break. And I will start off with William McCartan. I'll call again just in case somebody stepped out for the breaks. William McCartan. Put it to the side. Jenny Hutt. Okay. Good afternoon. If you give your name and address for the record. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. My name is Jenny Hutt. I'm from Roslyn. I'm a lawyer. I went to Hofstra University School of Law. I'm also a radio, TV personality, entrepreneur, author, and most importantly, I'm a mother of two. So thank you to the town board for this opportunity to speak. Thank you to Don Clavin and the board for holding such an accessible, transparent, and thorough review of this application. A project of this size and scope will impact not just the Coliseum site, but Nassau County and all of the Long Island region. This is a project that needs scrutiny, review, criticism, and of course accolades if done correctly. Thank you to the Sands Corporation and their leaders for not just today's presentation, but for their outreach to the Long Island community for transparency and their generosity to local communities in need. Thank you to our community here, civic and business leaders, for coming here today and presenting testimony for and against the project. I've heard the reasons that people are cautious about this endeavor. People are worried about things like addiction, gambling, prostitution, and by the way, these are all very fair concerns and issues, but they're also concerns and issues that already plague our society, so with or without an integrated resort at the Nassau Coliseum. This project will bring much needed tax revenue to the town of Hempstead to directly combat these issues, revenue that will otherwise go to New York City and not be available to help Nassau residents, and we need that revenue to be available to help the Nassau County residents here. Plus, Las Vegas Sands has the experience and has committed to creating programs to help our most vulnerable and our youth. And as a mother of two, we need to protect our children from addiction, sure, but we also need to provide for a future and their future here in Long Island. The business community and labor have already testified in length about the economic opportunities this project will bring to our regions, opportunities that will save the Long Island region, bringing tourist revenue and creating a space for multi-day business retreats right here on Long Island. Not to mention the entertainment, dining, and nightlife value. Who doesn't want to have a good time? Las Vegas Sands has committed to making this the most sustainable project in the history of Long Island. I look forward to this secret process continuing and reviewing the efforts and the effects on local communities and the environment. And we need you to cut through the spin and talking points of the local media and deal with the facts, because from where I'm standing, the facts say the former site of a major athletic arena and surrounding communities can handle the excess traffic and potential environmental pitfalls. And we can't lose this economic revenue to New York City. So I ask the town to please review the application, and if it's satisfactory, please don't lose this opportunity for the town of Hempstead, the Long Island region. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hutt. I'm going to reach out to him again because we're coming off the break. William McCartan? Okay. Jay McFeely? Jay McFeely? Okay. All right. Al Horowitz? Al Horowitz? Okay. Chester McGibbon? Chester McGibbon? Casey, do me a favor, if there's anybody outside, let them know we're calling people. Or if anybody's in the other room as well. Thanks. Jennifer Baxmeyer? Jennifer Baxmeyer? Gina Loletti? Hi. How you doing? If you give your name and address for the record.
Gina Coletti, 42.
Oh, I'm sorry, it looked like I, see,
It's
I
okay.
I
It's
told you,
okay.
I'm
No
very good
worries.
at doing this wrong, okay, thank you.
Gina Coletti, 42 Sun Hill Road, Nesconset. I am the owner of GC Advisory Group. I'm a real estate broker and the co-chair of the Suffolk County Alliance of Chambers. I am here today speaking personally in support of the Las Vegas Sands application. This project will be an economic driver to the local community across the local communities across the region. It will infuse tourism from across the globe and significantly improve the affordability crisis in this region by providing new opportunities for our young people to stay on Long Island, grow families by creating thousands of high-quality, paying career opportunities. The Sands proposed integrated state-of-the-art gaming resort, a five-star hotel, a flagship dining and entertainment opportunity, and internationally acclaimed spa will generate tens of millions of tax revenue dollars in both counties and the town of Hempstead, all of which are well needed for Long Island's prosperity. Over the past year, Las Vegas Sands has shown their unprecedented commitment to collaborate with the Long Island community, the Chambers of Commerce, small business owners, nonprofit sector, and developing programs for young entrepreneurs and minority women and veteran-owned companies. Their dedication to improving the infrastructure for building a sustainable future for Long Island is highly regarded. This needs to happen. We have too many people leaving, and we have been seeing it and saying it for so many years. This company has shown nothing but the absolute most important commitment that we've ever seen to Long Island. To build this opportunity and to let it go would be a shame. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for taking the time. Janine Maynard? Hi, good afternoon, Ms. Maynard. If you give your name and address for the record.
Good afternoon. My name is Janine Maynard. I live at 255 Perry Street, Hempstead, New York. I also represent the Uniondale area and the greater Uniondale area civic organizations. I'm not here to take a position as such today. This is really, my understanding is that this is to determine the scope of the environmental study. And I am officially co-chairing the environmental committee that's been working with the Sands, the working group. I co-chair that with Sammy Chu, and he and I had been the co-chairs when the development was going on with the Nassau Hub. So we have history in the discussions and understanding what the issues are in the area. The process since Sands came to us has been very, very open and has also invited the participation of the broader community to participate in both the individual committees and also in the environmental committee specifically. In our committee, we've had subject area experts, including Adrian Esposito, specialists on lead, specialists on solid waste management, and the Sands has been listening, and we see reflection of their listening in the kinds of information that is going forward. I would like to bring up some points that I would like to make sure are included in the scope. And one is about the long-term post-build measures. We are thrilled that Sands has come to this process, and they are the first developer that I've come across that is offering to meet LEED standards and LEED standards of excellence. They want to be the first in class in Long Island. That alone has potential to push Nassau County to become a LEED certified county, and that would be to the environmental benefit of everyone. No other developer has offered that to us. We want post-build measures, though. LEED standards are in the construction phase, and we would like to make sure that the gains are sustained across time, so we'd like to see that that has measures. There's concern about the zoning change. And I, as a representative of Voice of Community also, would like to see language developed here that would sunset the zoning of casino if the license does not go to Sands Corporation. Sands Corporation is unique. It is publicly traded. It gives many, many layers of safety to the community. But if that zoning would exist and not go to Sands, we don't want that zoning hanging out there in the open.
Okay. Again, you're worked with you a couple of times. If you could put anything else, I know you had a couple more, into an email or the whole thing into writing, we will put it in for submission and for the record, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Vincent Alou? Good afternoon. Name and address for the record. Thank you.
Yes, hello. My name is Vincent Alou. I live on Clinton Avenue in East Patchogue in the great township of Brookhaven. Supervisor Clavin and this esteemed council, I want to first thank you for this open, honest, transparent process. Sands to, from day one, every question we have had has been answered and met. A lot said today, a lot to unpack. I have to say, I think it's irresponsible and maybe even disingenuous to suggest that Nassau County, the town of Hempstead, the Nassau-Suffolk Building Construction Trades, and the Sands Integrated Resort have not done their due diligence in regards to environmental impact. We have the technology in 2024 to make this a smooth, clean, efficient process, and will mitigate all environmental impact. Okay? As my colleague suggested earlier, mentioned earlier, Josh Slaughter, he mentioned that Roosevelt School District will be the first school district in New York State to adopt our high school pre-apprenticeship curriculum and be skills training 9th through 12th graders, our construction skills up and into this industry. And this project has been in the conversation since day one. So those jobs there for those students in Roosevelt are invaluable. Okay? I'm going to keep it short and simple, but as the assistant business manager of Laborers Local 66, of the Laborers International Union of North America, representing thousands of laborers and our relatives on this island, we stand with Supervisor Clavin, Town of Hempstead, Nassau County, and the Sands 110%, and we'll be there every time you ask us to come out. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Liu. Next, I have Elizabeth Martin. Elizabeth Martin? Okay. We have Joseph Nabat.
Yep, that's me.
Good afternoon, Mr. Nabat. Can I have your name and address for the record?
My name is Joseph Nabat, 69 Acorn Lane, Levittown, New York. Since the Las Vegas Sands announced their proposal for the Nassau Hub on January 12th of last year, there has been support as well as vocal opposition to their proposal. I went to the Nassau County Legislative meeting on May 22nd of last year in regards to the vote of transferring the Nassau Coliseum lease to the Las Vegas Sands, which is now voided. With the lease now voided, I view this as the perfect time to show my proposal to the public. I brought up my proposal to the podium, and it was the only one that unified both sides of a heavily divided place, for it included everything the Sands wanted, as well as a Nassau Veterans Memorial Park, 2 parking garages, a pedestrian bridge, and the centerpiece of it all, a state-of-the-art retractable roof football stadium to be the home of the New York Jets and possibly the Cosmos. With the Nassau Coliseum being built on Mitchell Field as well as Long Island's rich history in aviation, building a football stadium for the New York Jets would be an honor and tribute to the Nassau Coliseum sports and entertainment history and the military and aviation history of Mitchell Field and Long Island. Many are worried about traffic jams regarding redevelopment of the Nassau Hub. My solution includes using recommended Nassau Inter-County Express routes and their proposed initial operating segment route to transport people to mainline LIRR stations and a new LIRR station on Endo Boulevard using a resurrected Garden City Mitchell Field secondary line. The New York Jets are about to hit the 15th years of their lease at MetLife, and every 5 years hence, they can opt out of their lease and give the state of New Jersey 12 months' notice. The first opportunity for this to happen will happen next year with the notice date of this year. With the rise in sports gambling, the NFL started to allow this season for sports books to be inside stadiums. Regardless of who gets a gaming license from the state, the Sands will have a wonderful backup plan in building a retractable roof year-round stadium with a sports book in it. The Sands wishes to have a 3,600-seat entertainment venue to be a tribute to the Nassau Coliseum's music history. But with the oversaturation of small theaters in the New York metro area like the Paramount, Radio City, UBS Arena, MSG, etc., a small entertainment venue isn't a big enough draw to bring people to Uniondale. With a retractable roof NFL stadium, we would have world-class concerts, expo shows, family shows, the Super Bowl, NCAA Final Four, WrestleMania, etc., all in Nassau County. This would bring unprecedented jobs and revenue to Nassau County and surrounding areas, and would be a win-win for all parties involved. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for our community to come together to not only revitalize the Nassau hub, but to build a place where we could work, play, make memories, and to take back what was taken away from us over 40 years ago, our football team, our New York Jets. I have a name and logo for my proposal, which I have sent out to the Sands and Arkansas Realty. My proposal is called New York Jets Homecoming. This is the only copy I have. And we still have time. All right.
I appreciate you coming in, and let me wish you good fortune and finally making the playoffs in the last decade. Let me move on here. I'm going to call Franklin Camerano. Franklin Camerano? All right. Next I have Alan Bradbury. Alan Bradbury. Okay. Claudia Long? Oh, Alan, I'm sorry. There you go. Good afternoon. Your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Alan Bradbury, 1 Cheltenham Street in Lido Beach, New York. First, I'd like to thank you guys for being very transparent. I love the fact that we can actually come out here and speak our mind. I'm a business owner in Freeport, in the village of Freeport. I'm down on the nautical mile. Since the COVID and since everything has happened with the economy, our restaurant industry has taken a dive of epic proportions. Thousands of restaurants through the New York area have folded, not come back, and are never going to come back. And the ones that are there right now, we are barely holding on, trying to survive. We think with this particular endeavor, it will open up more avenues for people to travel, come down to the mile, come down, have some seafood dinner, have something good, because we're going to have thousands of people in the casino, bringing more people, more revenue for everyone, not to mention the jobs this county needs. This county needs jobs. This county needs a break. We have not had a break in a long time. And Nassau County is beautiful. I'm never moving from here, but I would love to see it prosper. And the fact that remains, we have an opportunity right now to jump on this. And I know Clavin and everyone here is going to stay on top of the EPA and everything else we got to do. I have no doubt that all the T's will be crossed, the I's will be dotted. Going forward, give me a second here, please. I've spoke to a couple people from the Sands today because I was concerned about certain situations. Someone was speaking today about what are we going to do about electric. I don't know if everybody knows this, but they're doing a huge solar. There's going to be a big solar panels all over the place. So they are addressing this. I kind of think these conversations should be addressed as the people are talking, because the people are talking, they're asking about the water, they're asking about the electric, they're asking about, someone should be from the Sands should say, hey, this is what's going on. So everybody here knows they're looking into it and they're going to make it happen. Again, I don't want to waste anybody's time, but I'm all for it. Nassau County needs it. We need it. The restaurant industry needs it. The employees, I want the union workers in here. We want everybody to prosper. And this is one of the best things I've seen in a long time. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Next I have Claudia Long. Good afternoon, Ms. Long. If you give your name and address for the record, thank you.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to see all of you, the leaders of our town of Hempstead. I'm not used to this kind of speaking my mind.
You're doing great.
I served in Nigeria for 35 years, but I grew up in Belmore, live in East Meadow. I'm a teacher, and I've worked with youth all my life. I want to stand and say no to the casino because of all the evils it will bring. Money isn't everything. So, having said that, I have become aware that there was a mailing about this meeting, but it says nothing about the casino. It says environment, but it says nothing. And it's amazing since these meetings have taken place in the last year I was here, that many, many, many residents of Nassau County are unaware of the casino. It's amazing. People are ignorant of what's happening. And having been a resident, I have lived in many different places, and I say, wow, where I come from, we have parks, we have a beautiful community, we have shopping centers and what. I know there are problems, but there's a better solution and a better building you can build for the community. And I want to say that some 25 people have spoken of all the details of why, all the points. I've learned a lot, and I say, please, pay attention to them and think of the people who are residing in Nassau County. Money is not everything. It's important, but please, save our communities.
Good. Thank you, Ms. Long. Next, I have Gary Johnson. Good afternoon, Mr. Johnson. Your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Gary Johnson. I reside in Valley Stream. I am the Economic Development Chair of the New York State NAACP, led by the Honorable Dr. Hazel N. Dukes. The NAACP is the oldest civil rights organization in the nation, with 55 branches throughout the state representing hundreds of thousands of people, including over 10 branches right here on Long Island. While we are better known for our interests that include voting rights, criminal justice, education, and equal access to health care, I'm here to reinforce that economic development is a key civil right that we believe in when it is equitably presented. And that is why the NAACP New York State Conference is supporting moving forward with this environmental impact study and this particular $6 billion development through a fully transparent process. The Sands New York Integrated Resort is one of the most transformational developments ever proposed for Long Island. The state has indicated that 3 licenses may be issued, and it would be unfortunate if Long Island wasn't one of these sites afforded this opportunity, because generations of college graduates leave Long Island for other opportunities in other states. And that has a negative economic impact on Long Island, which drives up housing costs, property taxes, and makes Long Island one of the most expensive places to live. Las Vegas Sands has had an international reputation of making impactful agreements with their communities and living up to or exceeding those agreements. Sands has committed to addressing our community's valid concerns, including possible crime, traffic, gambling, and environmental impacts, as will be addressed in this study. But please note that online gambling is and has been legal and pervasive, as advertised on television, and encompasses sports gambling, all accessible 24/7 on your smartphone. Where was the organization to prevent that? SANS has staffed up with many of those that we know and trust who are committed to mitigating negative environmental impacts, true workforce development, and equity in all facets of this project. Pre-development work is already being offered to several professional Long Island firms before the first shovel goes in the ground, and that includes minority and women-owned firms, and that's important. And through this agreement with various unions, there will be thousands of jobs here on Long Island, not in New York City, not in New Jersey, not in Connecticut. And folks will spend money here on Long Island, allowing us to address the resources and the needs that many have spoken about. Those are the reasons the NAACP supports this project. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Luis Mendez? Right over the mics, Luis, right over there. That's great.
Yes, we got two Louis today.
I guess you'll claim you're the good-looking one. Name and address for the record, please.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Louis Mendez, 36 Hearth Lane in a hamlet known as Salisbury, South Westbury. It is an honor to be able to be in front of the town board. I want to first thank the town supervisor. As I told you on the sidelines, I'm a huge fan of the work that you're doing to integrate the minority communities into your government. It's a great thing, and I commend you for it. I'm a former deputy director of the Nassau County Office of Minority Affairs, former fire medic at the East Meadow Fire Department, and a former colleague to Councilman Dunn Sr., who is the original elected Latino at the Nassau County Legislature. So it's great to see you. We did a lot of great work together over for the 8 years that I worked at Nassau County. I'm also very happy to see a good friend of mine, someone who has been alongside of me fighting for civil rights for folks of color, which is the senior councilwoman and deputy town supervisor, Dorothy Gooseby. Thank you so much for being here and for being a part of the government and the history you made for people that look like me. Thank you. Let me say the following. I want to thank those Garden City residents who came out of their $2 million homes to try to advocate for people that look like me and the councilwoman. Over the last 40 years, and according to the federal government, they have spent 40 years worth of litigation. They were found guilty of violating housing rules, keeping people that look like me away from Garden City. It's an irony now they're fighting for me here in this project. Isn't that funny? Just want to let you know that I need your help on something very important as far as the town council. I'm a father of 5 kids, and I'm going to tell you my story about an immigrant past with my parents. I came to New York. I'm never leaving New York. But 3 of my kids, who are triplets, who grew up performing for the town supervisors in the past in their Latino Heritage Months, including our current clerk, Kate Mary, they don't live here no more. They live in Greenville, South Carolina. My grandson, who's black and Latino, is a Southerner. He's not even a Jets fan, and I'm a Giants fan, just to let you know. So we got to stop the brain drain from leaving Long Island. We don't have a there. So my 19-year-old, who's at Baruch College, going on a full scholarship for free, which will not be indebted by going to a private institution and coming out with $80,000 to $120,000 in debt, worse than gambling in a casino. I want her to take advantage of the opportunity when she graduates Baruch's program for accounting and works for Sands here on Long Island in Nassau County. So thank you so much. It is an honor and a pleasure. God bless the town. God bless this project, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you so much for coming down. Next, I have Paul Monaco. Oh, no, I didn't. Good afternoon, Mr. Monaco. If you give your name and address to the record.
My name is Paul Monaco, and I live in Carl Place, Long Island. I have found this meeting very interesting, and the opinions of different people make it a lot more, we have to think about which way to go. But I'd like to say $1 billion is a lot of money, or $6 billion is a lot of money, but I would like the Nassau and local government people to try traveling on the Long Island Expressway, or Southern State Parkway, or Hempstead Turnpike, all of which have been mentioned before, in rush hour a few times. Now, I've never had to really do that. I was lucky. I worked locally and didn't have to put up with it. But I've been through it and seen when we have to go to New Jersey, it's impossible. There's only one way out of Long Island. Now, if they're going to put in mass transit, which is a very nice idea, if you had a place where you could dig holes in and put it in, that'd be a great idea. However, I find it very difficult to believe that that could be done. If they can, I'd certainly like to see the paper and I would look at it. And I always think of Christmas, Roosevelt Field. Traffic, they're going to control the traffic there? I don't see how. But I would like to mention, maybe they could drop them in by helicopter, parachute, whatever, maybe that'll work. But that, I really would like to see the answer to that question. I've been to Atlantic City too many times, I must say. My wife likes to go there, so I went. And I play the games too, and we leave the money there. And I've seen what the environment is around it and so on. I've gone out, sometimes even gone fishing in the area just to get out of there. And it's not a place for us. First of all, they have access to Atlantic City, and even Las Vegas, same thing. It's been built where it was made to get to it. Long Island isn't the place. Joe, who just spoke a few minutes ago, had the idea about having the jets. That would be so much better as a thing because it's a one-day thing where people will come to a game on a Sunday or whatever it is, and the Super Bowl, and it's crowded and fills up the hotels, and then you don't have to have traffic every day. A casino is 7 days a week, nonstop. I would like to think about this more, but I'm definitely against it at this point.
Okay, thank you
I
very
would
much
like
for
to
coming
hire
in. If
that
you'd like to
great-
supplement
oh,
any
sorry
of your,
about
that's
that.
okay. If you
All
want to supplement any more of your comments, just put it in writing, drop an email, we'll read it and make it part of the record as
All
we
right,
have with
thank
everybody
you
else.
very much.
Okay. Next I have Brian Rolston. Brian Rolston? Mike Pantano? Mike, okay. Luis Vasquez? Afternoon, your name and address for the record.
Louis Vasquez, I'm from Glen Cove. I'm also the president of the Long Island Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, CEO. And I want to speak from the heart. I want to speak basically in support of the Sands. For the first time, we're 35 years old, our chamber, and we represent hundreds of members. But one of the first things that we found out about the Sands is when they came on board, they asked us for a meeting. And I was like totally against it because of the Latinos and the gambling and everything else. And we were pretty much against it. But once I started meeting with them and asking them all the hard questions about, we're the ones who really get the brunt of everything, and there are no programs, there's no support, and, and economic, we're not involved in the system. So what I was impressed with is the fact that they included us from the beginning. From the beginning, they called and they asked us, and then when I was able to get a group of Latino leaders throughout Nassau County and also Long Island, and we were able to discuss it and gave the hard questions to be able to say, how is our community going to be impacted? And we were very hard because I don't sell my soul, and I don't sell because of a sponsor, and I don't believe in anything but to do the right thing. And I know that all you gentlemen up there are supervisor and also have the same values because we know each other. And I don't think you will do something that will hurt Nassau County, Long Island. So I have that peace of mind. I have the peace of mind that the county executives and the supporters, and I know the residents of Garden City, everybody is concerned. But when we see an organization that comes at this level of funding, and the most important thing that I found out was about the human side of these corporations and their leaders, the way they treated you. I felt like a family, and I felt them, they care about what I said, and everything they said, they follow through. Not about the funding, not about their support, so much about where their characters were and what they believe in and the passion that they do it with and how they keep the rates of employees for many years because they believe in what they say. And I asked their employees, how do you like working with the Sands? And I got a great feeling for that. So I'm here more or less to speak on a very personal level, on a very professional level, and also on caring for the Latino community and the minority and the whole community. I live in Glen Cove, and when I get up in the morning, it's my neighbors. It's not so much about Louis Vasquez and the Latinos, it's about our neighbors, and they're a pretty much diverse community. So the way I see that as Sands coming in. So we're in support as the Long Island Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We're in support of this project because it's going to help us economically, socially, mentally, whatever we want to put the categories, and environmentally. So on behalf of the Long Island Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and our members and our community, we say we're in favor of this project. And I want to thank the board for this transparent meeting. Thank you, and God bless you all, and God bless everyone here. God bless. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Vasquez. Next, I have Mariano Galde. Hey, good afternoon. Name and address for the record, thanks.
My name is Mariano Ugaldi. I am the president of the Uniondale Chamber of Commerce. I'd like to thank the town supervisor, the deputy supervisor, and the rest of the town of Hempstead Council for being here and presenting this opportunity for us to speak. I'm from the North Shore. I've lived in Uniondale for the past 30 years. And Uniondale's a working class neighborhood. Really, all people really do is really focus on working for the most part in our neighborhood. And so what ends up happening here, when this project came about and I was presented to the Sands group, the meeting really didn't go well, at least at first. I had a lot of reservations about the impact of this project. And so as we went back and forth for a while, it got pretty heated. But as we continued to talk, and a couple of days went on from there and we continued talking, I got a lot of answers to basically all my concerns were. And so the big thing about this project compared to anything that's been slated here for decades is the fact that the scale of this project is monumental. The opportunities here, running the chamber for I've been running the chamber for over 5 years as president. I've been involved a little bit longer. The number one concern for a neighborhood like Uniondale are jobs. Where are my kids gonna get a job? Where can I get a better job? Where are these jobs? This is one opportunity here that is enormous. There's over $3 to $4 billion that will be spent in Uniondale if this project gets approved. That's out of this zip code. Those receipts will be generated here. There's over $900 million up for grabs from minority contractors. So a lot of people who like to say, like, I don't like this project because of this reason, or because I live in Garden City. Okay, but Garden City isn't here. This is Uniondale. I live here. These are our concerns, and we're saying we would like this project here. It's a great opportunity. It's a regional impact. It's a huge economic impact and windfall for Nassau County, for Suffolk County, and all of Long Island. And that's really what we need here. We need something that's going to really pick up the economy on a more local level, not about jobs in the city. That's pretty much it. I really want to thank everybody for giving me this opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Thank you for coming down. We appreciate it. Neil Alaco. Good afternoon. Name and address for the record.
Good afternoon. My name is Neela Mukherjee-Lackal. I live in Setauket, New York. I'm a mother. I'm a board member of different organizations, which is only important because I want you to know that I'm very committed to all things related to our community and our residents. I'm also the president and CEO of the EAC Network, headquartered right here in Garden City. We serve 65,000 individuals across New York State every year. Downstate, in this area, across the 5 boroughs, Rockland County, Nassau, and Suffolk counties. I am very much in support of this project. I can appreciate that people might say that money isn't everything, but I can tell you with the people that we're working with, the two biggest obstacles to success for the people we're serving are housing and vocation. And you need vocation to be able to get housing. Jobs are very important. I have 2 young children. I'm hoping that they're going to stay and settle here on Long Island, but in order to do so, they need to have opportunities. The Sands Corporation has been incredibly engaged, has reached out, has invited community members to share concerns, has addressed these concerns, is working with community partners, in fact, to address these concerns. I would say that the opportunity with the jobs for our region, it is for this local community, and our local community extends beyond us. We are a region. The jobs that are going to be created by this project will be transformative for Long Island, for all of downstate, for all of our children, to keep our children here. So I just wanted to say that. I think that the SANS has been really engaged with us as an agency, has been engaged with our community, has been listening to concerns, has created forums, has welcomed input, has welcomed feedback, and has taken the time and the effort to address those concerns. So with that, I would give you back my time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Orrin Hausner? Orrin Hausner? Okay. Caprice Rhines? Hi, good afternoon. Your name and address for the record?
Good afternoon. My name is Caprice Rhines, and my address is Garden City, New York. I don't live there. My P.O. box is there. I'm a 56-year resident of Nassau County, Long Island. I'm a graduate of Uniondale High School in the top 5 percentile of my class and born in Meadowbrook Hospital. I'm a licensed minister and a chaplain with the U.S. Federal Chaplaincy of New York. I am for the Sands Casino. I've been a part of many attempts to develop on this property. And if they don't keep their promise, I will be the first to help shut them down. But I will say, they have kept their word. I took the apprenticeship program, which our Honorable Ms. Gooseby came in on that photo opportunity. I wasn't in the photo, but I thank you for taking your time to come and check on us. At my age of 56 years old, yes, I took that opportunity. Both my children left New York, and it broke my heart because there's no opportunity in New York for them. Sands has already paid off $1 million. Let's say that, $100 million. I made a mistake, $100 million on the Nassau Veteran Memorial Coliseum debt that was left on us, the taxpayers. They have already given money to Nassau County Police Department, who has already hired police officers on behalf of us, the taxpayers. No one in Garden City said that because they have their own police department. People are gambling every day from their phones, as said numerous times. The benefit is that it will give our families union jobs as well as make our area a destination spot because there's nothing to do here. And I'm not sure if they know the previous owner of the Coliseum discriminated on what kind of entertainment that came to the Coliseum. But I believe that the Sands will be more inclusive, unlike Garden City. I'm tired of the small few saying who can and cannot come in our community, who still has the attitude, not in my backyard. This will help raise the employment opportunities in Nassau County, as stated earlier, who gamble every day in our hands. We don't consider that. Excuse me. I want to get this in that 3 minutes. I'm done. But I will send this in.
That's fine, and we'll make it part of the record. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Jennifer Boxmeyer. Jennifer Boxmeyer. Chester McGibbon. Chester McGibbon. Al Horowitz. Al Horowitz. Jay McFeely. Jay McFeely. Okay. William McCartan. William McCartan. Del Greco. Del Greco. Okay. Good afternoon. If you give your name and address of the record, thank you.
Chloe Del Greco. I live in Levittown. My thinking is that right now, the only people that are going to benefit by this is Sands and nobody else. What we need here in Nassau is senior housing. I have lived in my house for 43 years. I have paid more taxes than what the house is worth in the 43 years. I cannot afford to be there anymore, and I have no place to go. There's no housing for seniors. And this with the Sands, they're the only ones who are going to benefit by it. Not us, not our children, not our families, not us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very
Please
much for coming out.
think about it.
Okay,
What
you.
it's going to do to the community, to our families, to our grandchildren, to our children. The only people who are going to benefit is Sands, no one else. Thank you. We need housing for seniors. I have no place to go. I cannot afford my house anymore. I am single. I have no place to go. Think about it. When we go to bed tonight, how many people? Poverty, there's a lot of poverty here right in Nassau that nobody knows. The hardships that people go through. Last night, I was sitting at the top of my stairs listening to the boiler, how many times it was going on. 68 degrees, 66 degrees, and 70 degrees. Nobody should live like that. No one. You worried about Sands? It's just not right. It's not right. It's going to bring poverty, kids that go to school. It's not the right thing to do. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Berger, thank you very much. Next I have Ellen Mitchell. Ellen Mitchell. Okay. Simonzik? Simonzik? Anthony Forgione? Anthony Forgione? Kerry Fallerino? Kelly Ferrarino? Brett Thompson? Brett Thompson? Haley Simon? Haley Simon? Christopher Doretta? Christopher Doretta? Okay. I already got Ryan. I already got that. Ladies and gentlemen, those are all the slips I have as of. Ma'am, you'll get your chance in a second. If you would like to speak and you have not been heard, right now you can come up to the mic. But as you should have been directed to sign in. Did you sign in? Okay, well, come on up to the mic and give your name and address, and we'd love to hear you.
Linda Robertson, West Hempstead. I support all of the arguments that were made against the casino for environmental concerns and traffic and pollution, but I'm going to speak to my expertise, which is as a nurse of 43 years. I'm an oncology certified nurse, and I am a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. And I think a gambling casino is a terrible thing. There are terrible addictions that people develop to gambling, to drinking, to smoking. And traditionally, a casino environment supports not only gambling, but drinking and smoking. Dr. Reynolds spoke before about how Sands has offered to remediate and help remediate the problems that would develop for the percentage of people that might develop a gambling addiction. How about we not set them up to develop, so we have to remediate them? And for the people who are saying you can gamble on your phone and you can do sports betting on the television, You can also drink and drive and get in your car and kill someone, but the county and the town and our villages and people are not giving people a car, loading it up with alcohol and saying, here, drive it. So we invite people into a casino and we give them the occasion where they can develop addictions. And is Sands going to give any money to cancer treatment? Is it going to give any money to the Lung Association for all the people who develop chronic obstructive pulmonary disease? And then to address the concern about it being near the colleges also, while anyone can develop an addiction at any time, we know that the frontal lobe of the brain does not fully develop until someone is 25, 26 years old. You have 18, 19, 20-year-olds. We're all responsible for our actions, but college youth and young adults don't have the ability to understand the long-term consequences and what's going to happen to them or make a decision in their own best interest. They act on impulse. A gambling casino does nothing but give people more chance of their lives being blown up. For the people who say, well, crime, there's going to be police on site, the crimes from gambling addictions do not happen on site. They're forged checks from banks. They're people robbing their kids' college accounts, not paying alimony, and stealing from their jobs because they don't have money because they're in so debt and they can't tell anyone. So police on site doesn't impress me. And while we might need development, and it's going to happen, to consider a gambling casino that will hurt and wreck people's lives, we have remediation. Someone gets diabetes and they have to have their leg amputated, we give them a prosthesis to wear. If they get cancer from smoking and drinking, we give them chemo and radiation, but their life is never the same. Remediation is not good enough when we can prevent the problem in the first place.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Robertson. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have any other slips. Is anybody who's not been heard that would like to speak at this afternoon's hearing? Okay, I would just like to remind everybody we will be adjourning briefly and reconvening at 6 p.m. this. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, there you go. Hey, what's going on? If you give your name and address for the record, that's great.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. My name's Mark Herbst. I'm the Executive Director of the Long Island Contractors Association. We represent over 170 heavy construction companies in this region. We focus primarily in infrastructure. That's the roadways, bridges, sewers, tunnels, the rail system, and we are very proud workers and representatives of the people who live here. We are excited about this project, and it has been a wonderful process so far. We've attended many of the working sessions to deal with some of the concerns that we've heard time in and time out again, the concerns about traffic in the area and congestion. And these are issues that our members work to alleviate. And as you know, in this industry and what we've done throughout the years, we have seen many developments, many proposals, and here we have proposals that are coming forward, and they're using the best experts, the most professional people that I've dealt with throughout my career. And I've been involved in many projects throughout New York State, and this one has been nothing but transparent and engaged with the community and with the representatives and stakeholders of everyone around. They should be applauded for their outreach, and the concerns that are raised, they are responding to and being very effective. And I think the town of Hempstead has seen this site dormant for way too long. We keep hearing about how Long Island is shortchanged and not getting its fair share. Here's an opportunity where we can thrive, we can have the economic development that we need, an entertainment source, a place where we can come and be proud and to attract others. We know Long Island's great. Let's invite others, and let's have a place here where so we don't have to go to other places to enjoy ourselves. This is a great opportunity. We've waited too long. Let's get this done, and please support this effort. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Herbst. Okay.
That's it?
Oh, okay. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, again, I don't have any other slips. Is anybody that not been heard that wishes to speak now? Okay, in a moment we'll be adjourning till 6 p.m. this evening, where residents are entitled to have their comments heard again. But if you spoke this afternoon, you don't get an opportunity to speak later on, but we will be supplementing any of the files with any of your emails or writings. So with that, I would like to have a motion to adjourn this meeting until 6 p.m. this evening.
I move them.
Hold on.
I move.
No, you can, the mic was on.
All right. I move to adjourn the meeting until 6 p.m.
Supervisor Cleveland.
Aye.
Councilman Carini.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller. Aye. Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Okay, thank you all, and we'll see everyone this evening if you return at 6 p.m.